Everyone to this edition of the most interesting news in the world. Okay, this edition we are talking about this episode. We are talking about future. What is future? Well, let's do this. If you've seen this show before, you know I like to pock and pod all the definitions we've made of things. What is pock and pod? Well, pock and pod is short for the clearing statement. And if you want more information, you can go to theclearingstatement.com. It goes like this: right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. So I like to pock and pod the definition. So what have you defined future as that it isn't? Wow. Everything that is for all of you times the God's end, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pocket pot, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. What are we doing when we do that? Well, basically, when you have a definition, which a definition is actually a limitation, because if you look up the definition of a word, it means limitation. And if you don't believe me, watch. Yes. Oh my God. Webster's New International Dictionary. And look at this. Ethel. Give me a second. It's big. See that? Down at the bottom, it says 1927. This thing is almost 100 years old. Can you believe it? Oh my God. So cool. We shall have a birthday party for you. Speaking of birthday parties, this book will have one in 3 years. Like a centurion. You're almost 100 years old. All right. What were we looking for? Definition. Oh my God. I should not have undertaken this task while standing. D-A D-E-B, D-E-C, D-E-C, D-E-C. Definition. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness at the top of the page. Whew. Definition. Limitation. I honestly did not expect it to just immediately say limitation. Now, since this book is almost 100 years old, I'm not going to show the book to you. I'm going to bring you to the book. I hope you can see it. Oh my God, don't drop the computer. See that? Definition right there next to the K. Definition number one, limitation, setting of limits. Boom. The definition of definition is a limitation. All right. I should hide that book. Okay. So what have you defined future as that it isn't? Everything that is for all of you times the guides in, we're destroying and create it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what have you defined as future that is not? Wait, no. Everything, what have you defined as not future that actually is? We destroy and create all that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Now you might be sitting there going, but Connor, future is like future. What do you mean, pock and pod my definitions? Just pock and pot them and we'll see what shows up. You might see a future that you never even thought possible. Oh my goodness, how would that be? That would be so cool. So I like it. Maybe some of you are like, oh, but I really don't want things to be different than what I've experienced previously because that would be very nerve-wracking. Would it be nerve-wracking or would it be boring? Okay. Now, I am wow. See, so I have actually been someone that I have defined future as like boring if it's planned. Anyone else? Everything that is times it gets in, we're trying to create it all. Oh my God. Right around, get about pop up on shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Because I've actually, that's not even true. That's not even my point of view. Oh my God. Who does that belong to? Is that mine or somebody else? That was somebody else's point of view. And I thought it was mine. Wow. Somebody else's definition. Holy cow. Because I'm like, wait a second. I've had my life planned 6 months in the future. And when it's a good plan, when I'm like, I'm going to go facilitate there, and I'm going to facilitate there, and then I'm going over here, and I'm going over there, and then I'm going over there. I was like, that was amazing. That was my most favorite time in my life yet. So there you go. Now, whew, it's very funny because when I created the name for today's episode, I felt like I had a sense of, I was like, oh yeah, that'll be fun to talk about. And now I'm like, I'm not sure what to talk about. So let's do this. We're going to do a group symphony taster session for the future. Not just for the future, but like group symphony taster session future. There you go. Like, just to not limit it, you know? So what have you defined defining your future as that it isn't? And what have you defined as not defining your future that actually is defining your future? Wow. Like, basically, what are you doing to limit all your future possibilities that you think is not limiting your future possibilities, but the very fact that you're thinking about it and defining it is your limitation of it? Holy moly. Wow. Now, let's bring up some of the access consciousness basics. Like, your point of view creates your reality. Your reality does not create your point of view. And some of you might think that's like a statement, and it can be, but what it really is an acknowledgement of what's true. So as you have a point of view about something, that's the reality you create for yourself and the future. So the future can only be as great as your point of view allows. Wow. So all the points of views you're using to limit the future you could be choosing, will you destroy and uncreate all those? And all the structures, we're just going to do it. All the structures, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Now, I know last week I talked about Dane doing an aphantasics guide to creating beyond reality. Gary Douglas is also doing a telecall called Are You Moral, Immoral, or Amoral? How big of a future can you create if you are one of those, or if you're moral? Or can you only create a future that is bound by the limitations of your morality? Now, a lot of you might be like, moral is good. I would agree with you. I used to, only problem is that the people that enforce morality are like corrupt cops. Like, they don't follow it. They just tell everyone else to be moral and they don't do any of it themselves. What morality also does is it just limits your awareness of what other people are going to actually choose. And if you're willing to have that awareness of what other people are going to actually choose, then you get to have choice, greater choice, easier choice, actual true choice, rather than, putting handcuffs on yourself and being like, okay, moral officer, I'll get in the car with you because you told me so. Everything that brings up, this is not a dog on the police. Some police are really great. Some police are not. They're people, just like everybody else on the planet. There is not a single cult, creed, religion, anything, or any group of people that is, what would be the word? That is, I want to say free of, not that you can just say, not a single one of those people is a jerk. Everywhere I go, everything I've ever done, been involved in, there's always people, and some of them are jerks some of the time, and some of the time not, and some of them are just jerks all the time, and some of them are never jerks, and the ones that are never jerks think that they're the worst people on the planet. Whew. And what would future be like if the people that were not jerks knew, that didn't actually have the point of view that they were so terrible, mean, and vicious? Wow. What would that be like? Now, to get a sense of future, we have a tool in Access Consciousness where you really ask, what will my life be like in 1 year if I choose this? What will my life be like in 5 years if I choose this? And it is also just, what will my life be like if I choose this? Like, what will my life be like if I cut off my arm today? Ow, no, that would suck. But maybe if I had gangrene and all that shit on my arm, it would actually feel easier and lighter. So we can use this, what will my life be like in 5 years' time, as a way of getting a sense of the creation of future possibility, not the limitation and the reduction and definition of possibility. So everything you've done to define and limit possibility and future possibility, we destroy and uncreate all that. Times a Godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. So if you want to know about any of these telecalls that I talk about, if you want to know more information about any of the things I'm talking about, please go to accessconsciousness.com. That also makes me realize there's a new app and website streaming platform, I should actually call it. There's a new streaming platform called access.me, where you can pay a monthly fee to watch. It's like a Netflix for Access Consciousness. It's fucking cool. And if you're like, I don't have the money to pay for a month, I understand, you can't afford it. And there's some freebie stuff on there. So no matter who you are, go to this access.me app platform and start binging the Access Consciousness videos. Yes. Yeah, because it's cool. And you get more information, you get more aware, and how does it get any better than that? So I feel like the access.me thing is actually what made me want to talk about future. And it is. Like, look at access.me and get a sense of the future that gets created as you have more and more people not choosing from limitation, but choosing for possibility. They might still be like, I'm still choosing from limitation. I know I am. There's still limitations out there, but I'm choosing more and more and more from possibility every single day. And what's the future of the world like as you have more and more people choosing for possibility? Now, interestingly enough, I get to talk about the fact that I went to a rally with Kennedy Shanahan, the Kennedy Shanahan rally, and I was like, I'm not a political rally person. I so do not want to do that. Not interested. And yet it kept pulling me. I was like, I feel like I got to go to this. I got to go to this. I got to go to this. And so I did. I drove the 2 hours to get to Austin, Texas. And I get into this event, and I expected to leave within an hour. I was only really planning on staying an hour just because I was like, well, I drove 2 hours. I might as well stay an hour just to like make myself feel like the drive was worth it. And because I don't really want to drive back a half an hour later, because I have a lot to do at home. So, but I had a great time. It was awesome. It was really funny. It was really cool. And one of the things I thought was so interesting was walking in there, I could tell so many of the people there were they were, number one, weren't interested in what you would normally consider like a political rally. Like all the people up front are like, this is my point of view, and this is my point of view, and this is what we got to do. I could tell everyone in the crowd was like, I'm not following you. You're not my guru. I'm not gonna like lay down everything for you. But they were also like there to be like, hey, there's a different future, a different possibility there's available with this, and I want to come check it out. And so I just got to say, you know, for those of you, if you're in the United States, and even if you're in Turkey, one, go check that stuff out that you're like, no, I wouldn't normally choose that. No, I wouldn't normally do that. But it keeps sort of pinging you. You're like, I can't help it. I gotta go. And just go and see what shows up and be willing to use the tools. What are the tools? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? Those are some of my favorites. And also, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Oh, hello. Someone's calling me. I will need to call them back because I'm on with y'all. So, I also have an airplane to catch, and I'd like this to be longer. But I'm gonna have to finish in just a little bit. So here we go. Let's just do all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory 10 times. Because if you do that 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening, your life will get easier. I swear by it. I do it myself, and then I stop once my life is amazing, and then I'm like, and then it like starts. It's like tumbling, and then I'm like, wait, what? Oh, I stopped. Okay, keep going. So all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Now, if you all didn't know, another really great tool for creating future possibility is the How to Become Money workbook. I am the narrator for the English version of that book. So go get the audiobook if you're not much of a reader and loop that shit. Listen to it all the time and just see what shows up. I also narrated Embodiment by Dr. Dane here, and the manual you should have been given when you were born. And also, money isn't the problem, you are. What if money wasn't the problem? What if you were the problem? Because that's what's actually going on. Money is not the problem, you are. Check that one out too. And if you want to get in contact with me, email me at connor@connorjhill.com. That's it. That's all for this week. Like I said, I got to go catch an airplane to Paris. Dr. Dane here has a symphony of possibilities going on in Paris. I got to be there. And this weekend. So I'll see you next week on the most interesting news in the world. I mean, what's more interesting than the future? Bye.